go, ready, set. That is not how it works. Welcome to another episode of Legit Podcast Pro. Well, hey there, I'm Gordon Firemark, the podcast lawyer. I help creatives and business people in the podcasting industry to cover their legal bases and protect themselves and the things that they create. And this is my short format weekly show where I offer you legal tips, information, strategies, and I answer your questions so you can grow your podcast like a pro. So there's this popular notion going around on the internet these past few years that suggests that when you're going into a business or starting a channel or a podcast or something, it is okay to approach it with the attitude of ready, fire, aim. Now, the idea is that rather than spending tons of time planning out exact strategies, tactics, and so on, it's sometimes better to just launch your thing, put it out there, see how it goes in the marketplace, and adjust accordingly. Because this way, you avoid getting stuck in that analysis paralysis. And to a certain extent, I have to say I agree. All the ideas and planning in the world won't get you anywhere until you ship it, to quote Seth Godin. But even this ready, fire, aim construction still puts ready in first position. You can't just start, whether it's a business or a hobby or a YouTube channel or a podcast or really anything you're going to do, without being ready. You got to have your ducks in a row. You need to be ready because if you're not, things can go off the rails pretty quickly. Having your ducks in a row like this means having the supplies and the resources you need to make the thing. It means taking steps to protect yourself and others against the unintended consequences that can come from the thing. It means making sure everyone involved in making the thing knows what they can expect. And it means making sure that you own what you think you do and you'll be able to receive the benefits that you expect. Now, as a lawyer, I would never advise that you just go first and then decide, okay, now we'll get ready. But that is exactly how many new creative projects happen because the creativity just happens. Collaborators get together, they get excited, they start making stuff. And that's great. That's okay. It can lead to really impactful, profitable creations. But you can't totally skip the ready stage. You can't put this off to forever. In fact, you really should get it handled as soon as possible because bad stuff can happen. It doesn't happen to everyone. It's not a sure thing. If it were, nobody would ever do anything. But it happens often enough that patterns emerge. There are the obvious things, copyright infringement claims, trademark issues, and mostly folks think about this and they've taken steps to avoid these issues, although mistakes and accidents in this area still do happen. But what about those collaborators, your partners? Did you expect to be in business together? Did you expect that everything would be an equal split? If you don't have that understanding in writing, then it's open to some interpretation. And once different people have different ideas about interpretation, especially when there's money on the table, it's too late to get ready. By that time, it's about getting out of the problem. And you probably even have collaborators you haven't even thought about. Podcast guests, editors, producers, friends who are just hanging out with you. Any of them could claim to be a co-owner. Is that what you intended? Well, then get ready. What about your customers and clients? What do they expect? Does it match up with what you expect? If it's not in writing, can you count on that? Get ready. My point is, whether you're just thinking about starting a project or you've already started, the time to get ready, if you didn't already do it, is now. Because bad situations won't wait until you're ready. They will strike suddenly and out of the blue. There are lots of things that you can do to get ready, but thinking it won't happen to me isn't one of them. Getting the legal and business affairs for your thing in order is just as important as getting good quality sound, capturing compelling images, creating strong, engaging content, and growing your audience so you can achieve the kind of growth and profit that you want. Now, in a couple of weeks, I'll be sharing my Business and Legal Fundamentals for Podcast Growth and Profit workshop. Now, registration hasn't yet opened up, but if you're interested, I've got an early bird notification list over at gordonfiremark.com/earlybird. Sign up and I'll be sure to send you an invitation just as soon as registration opens up in just a couple of weeks. So that's it. Thank you for being with me for this episode of Legit Podcast Pro. I'm Gordon Firemark, the podcast lawyer, and I will see you again next week. Thanks again.